Hi everybody, it's me, Carrie, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Farmington Hills, Michigan, here with a pre-recorded video for you today. I am using this awesome suite that is available online only right now at my Stampin' Up! Store, MemoryINKers.com. That's where you can go to shop. This is such a fun suite. And I showed you before, there is actually a Memories and More card pack that you can get in the mini catalog. I've got stuff going on with that you're going to see in the quick future. But let's get this advertising out of the way. So shop MemoryInkers.com. My hostess code for January 2025 is J as in Jack, B as in Bob, B as in Bob, H as in Henry, H as in Henry, P as in Paul, V as in Victor, 2. Okay, that is where you want to go shop. Don't forget it is celebration. So for every $60, you get to pick something out of the celebration catalog. There's also a second tier for $120 orders. But don't forget, when you order $150 or more, you're also going to get hostess credit. Should you do that, don't use my hostess code, because otherwise it won't give you the credit. It'll give it to me. So, okay. All right. So here we go. We are going to be using from the suite the beautiful Mixed Florals stamp set. Love this stamp set. It's so beautiful. In the bundle is also the Mixed Labels stamps. Both of these have dies, which I have on the inside of both of them. So you can see, I don't know where the dies are. Let me find them. Hold on. See, I was using them so much. Here's the Mixed Labels dies that come with, if you bundle it, you can buy everything separately. The Mixed Labels. We are going to be using these. I'm going to be using this one right here today. So I'm going to leave that out. Also in this suite is this awesome embossing folder called Plaster Painting. We're going to be using that, so I'm going to leave that out. These fun and pretty gems, they are called Low Profile Dots, and we're going to be using those. And of course the Designer Series paper, which I've showed you a few times, that I'm madly in love with. So here we go. I'm not using any of this. I know, shocking, right? But this is still like an amazing suite. So you can only find it online. If you have questions, comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment, but you'll probably get a quicker answer if you flip over to my Facebook page, facebook.com/MemoryInkers. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way for now and keep the things I'm going to use. One of the other things I am going to use, I've got it. All right, never mind. Is this, look at this, Elements of Text. This, I believe, is also online. Let me look here. I note things, and then I put them where I can't find them. Yep, this is an online exclusive. Obviously, I'm going to be using this one. It's literally just words and splotches. And I love word backgrounds. You know how I feel about sentiments anyway, right? So we're going to be using that also. And we are going to recreate this card right here. But I'm going to be using different colors. So I'm going to set that up there. And here we go. I was wrong. We are not using this folder, but I've got some awesome cards coming up using that folder. That's why I got confused. All right, so let's get started then. The first thing I'm going to do is I do have for my card base, I have a basic white thick cardstock, which you know I love the basic white. And the thick for a card base, love it. You can't beat a thick base for your cards. If you're using just plain Whisper White, Basic White, whatever they named it, no. It's going to be, it's much more flimsy. So this is better. Okay. Also, I think I've told you darker colors work better. So then I have this piece, Basic White, that is actually cut 3 3/4 by 5 because I'm going to mat it on this basic black, as you can see here. And this is the standard that I use, 4 by 5 1/4. So they're going to mat like that. And then I have a scrap for me to stamp my sentiment. Now, I'm using a big scrap because I'm doing a video, but I'm not kidding you. I don't know how you guys do this, but when I'm stamping at home and I'm going to cut something out, if it's this big and I know it will fit, that's what I'll do. But I'm making a video, and if I do that, I'll totally screw it up. So we're going to start with that, and I'm going to be using the Memento Tuxedo Black ink to ink up my sentiment, which says, just a note to let you know you're on my mind. So I'm going to stamp that right there and make sure that it's going to work with my die, that I didn't go over too far. Yep, it will. I'll have to straighten it out, of course. But so that's going to work on that. And then on this basic white piece, I am going to use Smoky Slate. Now, I'm going to tell you this, this stamp set, I do it on the foam. The writing is very faint, and so even though it is a foam-backed stamp, I'm still going to use it this way. So I actually stamped it. I'm trying to make sure. Yep, I stamped it in red because I want to make sure that I've got it where I want it. Kind of slightly in the center, but up. If you have a Stamp-A-Majig, you know how I loved my Stamp-A-Majig. You can use that. But I did the red because on this sheet from the Stamp-A-Majig, the Smoky Slate just didn't want to come out. So all I did was I put that where I want it, slid this into the corner, and then I'm going to ink this up. Now, when I made that that plastic piece, I did basically what I'm doing here. I put the plastic piece in the corner, and then I did exactly this, and this is how it makes it even, except I want the writing to go the right way. So I'm going to push it into the corner, slide it down, give it a good press. And there we go. Now, if you look at this, this was bad stamping on my part. It isn't perfect, the coloring. Yours will come out better. Just take your time inking it. I am on video, and nothing ever seems to be the same on video. But I'm not going to redo it because, as you can see, I'm going to cover it. So I don't care about that, right? All right, so I'm going to use my Memento ink again, and I am going to ink up this beautiful tulipy design. And then if you've got this giant block, I think it works best with this flower. There we go. But see how where it was faint, it doesn't really matter because the flower is going to cover it up. Okay, so now I have all of my stamping done. I'm going to go and cut this out, and then we'll play. So hold on just a minute. Okay, so as you can see, I used my awesome Post-it tape, which you can get on Amazon. No, I do not have an Amazon account, but this is what it looks like. It's rather expensive. Honestly, if you have sticky notes, they work just fine too. But somebody showed that, and I felt like I had to have it. Well, you don't have to have it. just so you know. Okay, now, I knew I had this out for a reason. So I brought out my black marker because see how everything is marked in black? I wanted this to stand out a little more, but I didn't want a fussy cut around it. I've showed you this trick before. I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm just going to make a dark black line around the edge of the sentiment. Notice how I'm kind of doing it in a mountain or upside down V when I'm holding it. And I'm also using my pinky to steady my hand because I am a klutz and I could very easily put a big mark on the front of my sentiment sheet. So this keeps me from doing it. But see now how it's subtle, but it does make it stand out. This just looks like it needs just a little more. There we go. Okay, so it's just enough to give it a slight shadow, and it's just better. All right, so now I am going to color. So I'm going to use, see if I have a really used up one, semi-used up. So I'm going to be using my blends markers. Let me move that stamp. And these are the colors that I have picked this time. I have a dark mossy meadow, a light mossy meadow, a granny apple green in light and dark. I have a, I can't read them upside down, dark daffodil delight, and I believe this is lemon lolly light. I have the light and dark of fresh freesia, and how come this says blackberry bliss? Is that right? This is bubble bath. Let me make sure. Hang on, I want to check this one. Oh yeah, okay. So this is the light blackberry bliss. I made myself a little sheet to see what I thought of the colors. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this light lemon lolly, and I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm going to go over all of the leaves. And I'm going to put this on pause so y'all don't have to sit and watch me color. But I'm going to do all of the leaves, okay? So when I am done, you will see why. You're like, yellow leaves, what are you thinking? This was a tip I saw on a YouTube video. Forgive me, I don't remember who did it. But I thought that is just so smart. You don't have to do the whole leaf. Honestly, you can kind of fake it. But I'm just doing the whole leaf so you guys can get the idea of where I'm going. It is important, though, I think, to get the tips of the leaves when you're doing this. And then this one here. Okay. So now I have all that yellow on there. Now I am going to take a dark granny apple green, I believe. Let me put it on my sheet. Yep. And I'm going to start putting on a little bit. I'm just going to do one of the leaves. And so I'm using this big one to show you. So now I've got, see how it's yellowed and light green? Then I am going to take the darker granny apple green, and I'm going to start adding more shade. And then, okay, so now I've got like this mix of colors. I'm going to go back to my light granny apple green and kind of use it like a blender to blend in the color. So now you see I've got like different dimensions on my lights and darks for my leaves. You can add a little more dark if you want, if you feel like, I'm using the pointy end now, if you feel like these things need a little bit more attention, you can go in and do that, or add a little bit on the edge. You can always go back and add more, but it's hard to take it away, even though we do have that that white, I forget what it's called, one of the white ones that's sort of an eraser, sort of, kind of. But anyway, it's hard to tell, but that yellow definitely makes a difference. It gave the leaf a lot more shadiness. Now, for the stems of the tulips, I'm going to start with light mossy meadow, and I'm going to do this one over here so you can see it, and then I'm going to pause once I show you a few things. And I'm doing the whole stem in the light mossy meadow. Now you might be thinking, "I'll carry that's really dark," but you know what? Tulip stems are dark. They do tend to be dark, and it will lighten up as they dry. So now I'm going to take the, oh shoot, I forgot I cracked this, you guys. I cracked my cap. So darn videos always. I cracked my cap and I thought I fixed it, and that's why that came off. So dumb. It was so dumb of me. So now I'm just going to follow my shading, because I did dark on this side of the leaf, so I'm going to do dark on this side of the tulip and just give it some more dimension here. Yep, it's working. And I'm not gonna reblend this. I'm gonna just leave it like that, just to give it some dimension. This is the part that's cracked, not the cap. I cracked the base, and so it wants to let go of this piece. So I'm gonna have to order another one, even though it's perfectly fine. It's my own fault. I did it. I did it all by myself. So I am now going to do a tulip. So I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to start with what I believe is the lightest, the light bubble bath. Let me make sure. Yeah, it's kind of pinky. And I'm not going to color in the whole thing. I want some white to show, but I am going to color in around it, because I'm going to be adding more color to it. So very similar to what I did with the leaf. Started with light shading, and now I'm going to go with, hang on, this is a light fresh freesia, so I'm going to put that over the pink, but not all of the pink. I want some of the pink to show. Okay, so watch when you're doing that, how you do it. Okay, so it's almost blended. You probably may not even be able to tell. And I will zoom in on this, you guys, in just a minute. So now I'm going to use the light. Oh, that's the dark. What is this? This is Dark Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to set that aside. So I'm not sure yet what I'm doing with that one. So this is the dark fresh freesia. So I'm going to add a little of that. So see how we're starting to get a little bit more color in here. All right, so we're getting some shading. Now I'm going to use the pencil end, the pointy end, whatever you want to call it, to just kind of go on the edges. I want to outline like where I think there's folds, like that, maybe down in here. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit messy for a minute. Just be patient. So I'm putting it where shadows would be when you are looking at the flower. So You can kind of see what that looks like. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start with the pink, and I'm going to try to blend that darker in just to soften it up a little bit. And it will help your flower have dimension and color. Again, I'm leaving white spots, as you can see, but now I'm going to leave a little bit more pink in there. It's a little bit too much white. Okay, so now I've got that dimension in that flower. It's pretty, right? And then you would do the stem, of course. Now for these, I actually took this cue from the Designer Series paper, and you will see I did not color them in all the way. I just, hang on, I just kind of did a little bit scribbly, and none of it is logic. You do not have to do perfect with this. Because I liked the way it looked on the Designer Series paper. Of course, you can do your own thing. You can do whatever you think looks better. Maybe you don't like all this white showing. Okay, so those are the basics on how I'm coloring this little set. So I'm going to pick it up here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I'm going to pause the video while I finish coloring. Okay, I have colored everything. I'm going to zoom in real close for you guys for a moment so you can see how everything is colored. Now, they do look a little different. Every time I color, I think they look a little... Obviously, I use different colors here, but the leaves are the same. Now, they will lighten up a little bit, but you can see that they're not identical. But that's okay, because who wants to do everything exactly the same, right? So we're going to, whoa. That was a shot. Sorry about that vertigo scene there. There we go. All right, I'm going to put things together now. I have some black baker's twine. This is so old. It came on this. Look how this thing is hard and sturdy. I will find a use for that. Now, what I like to do, you guys who watch me know, when I'm going to put a string or something on something, I use my Stampin' Seal. But I forgot. I want to put this down onto the black first. So my awesome liquid glue that yesterday was oozing. There it is. Yesterday I couldn't get... Have you ever had it where you're like working on something and the glue is so happy to be going that it like doesn't want to stop? It's like, wait, I'm done. Okay, so there we go. There we go. So now I can take my Stampin' Seal and I am going to put it on here. I like to do that because it helps me hold the ribbon and it's very strong. So I'm going to flip it over, and I think I want it about right there. So perfection is overrated. I fuss with these things all the time. Are the lines straight? Are they not straight? I don't know. Put them a little closer. There we go. So I'm just doing 2 lines of the baker's twine. Make sure you get it stuck. Okay. So let's see how I did. Let's see how I did with dimensions. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm good. That is as close as we're going to get with me. All right. So now I've done that, and I can adhere it to my card base. I like to go over any ribbons or anything with the adhesive so that I know that it's not going anywhere. Sliding out or moving around, that kind of stuff. Once that glue dries, it is not going anywhere. All right. slide that into place. Get it where I want it. This is why we love liquid glue, because you can ooze it. All right, so now I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. And you can see where my pen slipped. I'm putting on 3 because it's going to kind of go over this ribbon, baker's twine, and I want it to stay in place. So I am, I'm going to put this one in the center this time. And I'm trying to make it so the little points are in the center of the baker's twine. And then when you press, it'll hold the baker's twine. So that'll help with that. So now we have that, and now all we have to do is add some bling. So I was debating on if I wanted to color the bling. So let's go ahead and do that. I am going to color some of these gold ones, I think. See how they color up. That's not the darkest one, so let me try the dark fresh freesia. See if that colors it a little more. I'm not sure it's doing enough to make me happy, but let's see. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, so I'm gonna do 3 of them. I don't know why I'm not using the brush end. Don't ask me. I don't know. You have to be careful not to use too much pressure on these. Now, see, I just feel like they're not getting very colored. Hold on. I'm going to grab a darker color. I am going to grab the dark, rich, what is this? Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to use the dark Blackberry Bliss. Let's see what I can do. Oh, that might be darkening it. But it made it too pink. All right, never mind. I will use those for something else. But I'm just going to go ahead and use gold. Sometimes you got to experiment, right, to see what you like. And I'm just going to kind of copy what I did on this one and put them in the same spots, like so. So there we go. Super fun cards using the awesome Mixed Florals Suite from my online Stampin' Up! Store, MemoryINKers.com. Hostess code right here. If you're shopping, I really do appreciate it. I appreciate all the support for my Stampin' business. And don't forget the blends markers, which are always so fun to play with. So thanks for watching me. Remember, this is a pre-recorded video, so I'll talk to you soon. Bye.